In this problem, we need to resolve the following rational fraction into partial fractions. Clearly, this is a proper rational fraction. That's because if the degree of the numerator is clearly less than the degree of the denominator, meaning if we look at the highest degree of x in the numerator, that's 1, and the highest degree of x in the denominator, that's 3. Now, what we have to do is we'll have to factorize the denominator. Here, our denominator is a cubic polynomial. We have x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. And we use some standard methods. Then this factorizes as the product of x minus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 3. That means our given rational fraction, 3x plus 2, whole divided by x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x plus minus 6. That can be also expressed as 3x plus 2, the numerator remains unchanged, divided by x minus 1 times x minus 2 multiplied to x minus 3. Now this is done so that we can now equate this to, so let 3x plus 2 whole divided by x minus 1 times x minus 2 times x minus 3, so that we can break it down into three partial fractions. The first partial fraction being a over x minus 1, the second partial fraction being b over x minus 2, and the third partial fraction being c over x minus 3. So here a, b, and c, these are three constants whose value we need to determine. Now what we'll do, it's a very simple problem. All we have to do is multiply throughout with the denominator of the expression on the left hand side, that is x minus 1 times x minus 2 multiplied to x minus 3, which is going to give us 3x plus 2. And then on the right hand side, the first term will become x minus 2 multiplied to x minus 3 whole multiplied to a. The second partial fraction will, when it gets multiplied to x minus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 3, is going to give us x minus 1 times x minus 3 multiplied by b. And finally, the third partial fraction will become x minus 1 times x minus 2 whole multiplied to c. Now, in order to find out the value of a, b, and c, we're going to assume three values of x. So let x be equals to, now this is very important, how to choose the value of x. First, we will try to find out the value of a. So in order to find out the value of a, the second and the third term must go to 0. And the only way it can go to 0 is we'll look for a common factor. So x minus 1 is the common factor. So if we equate x minus 1 to 0, that means x equals to 1 is going to make the second and the third term go to 0. So we're going to choose our first value as x equals to 1. Then we will substitute this into our entire equation. So we have 3 times 1 plus 2 on the left hand side. So this will be equals to 1 minus 2 multiplied to 1 minus 3 times a. So the two terms will go to 0. Now we have 3 plus 2, 5. So 1 minus 2 will be negative 1 multiplied to 1 minus 3. So that's negative 2. So a. So we have obtained our a value. So that's going to be equals to 5 divided by positive 2. So we have obtained a value of a. Next, we want to obtain the value of b. Now, we have to choose the value of x in such a way that the first term and the third term goes to 0. So, look for the factors which is common to both of them. So, here we have x minus 2 which is common to both of them. So, if we let x minus 2 equals to 0, that means we have x equals to 2. This will make the first term and the third term go to 0, with the help of which we can easily obtain the value of the constant b. So let's substitute this value into equation. So we have 3 times 2 plus 2 on the left hand side. The first term we don't have to worry about. The second term will become 2 minus 1 multiplied to 2 minus 3 times b. So we have 3 times 2, 2, that's 6. 6 plus 2 will be 8. So 2 minus 1 is 1, 2 minus 3 is negative 1. So we have negative b equals to 8 and b value will be negative 8. Now that we have obtained the value of b as well, our final task will be to obtain the value of c. So here we're going to choose x in such a way that the first term and the second term goes to 0. So here we observe that x minus 3 is the common factor between these two terms. So we are going to choose x equals to 3. So let's substitute into this entire equation. So we have 3 times 3, so that's 9. 9 plus 2 will be equals to, so the first term and the second term goes away. We are left with the third term, so that will be 3 minus 1, replacing x with 3, multiplied to 3 minus 2 times c. So 9 plus 2, that's 11, equals to 3 minus 1, so that's 2, multiplied to 3 minus 2, which is 1, multiplied to c. So our c value is going to be 11 over 2. So we have successfully obtained the value of a, b as well as c. Now we will substitute these three values back into our equation, and this is going to give us the final answer. So let's do that. So hence we can obtain our final value. So our given rational fraction 3x plus 2 whole divided by, so originally we had x cubed minus 6x squared plus 11x minus 6. After factorizing it, we obtained these three factors, the product of these three factors, x minus 1, x minus 2, and x minus 3. So that will be equals to a over x minus 1. The value of a is 5 over 2 multiplied to x minus 1. Then we have b, so that's negative 8. So we have negative 8 divided by x minus 2 plus c. So c will be 11 over 2 divided by x minus 3. So this is these are the three partial fractions. So if we combine them, this is going to give us back the original rational fraction.